Hello, my name is Markus Oberliner. I'm a web developer from Austria, and I'll show you a quick demo of Windflow. So here you can see a simple demo landing page we built on top of Windflow. You can see a few sections like this hero section, section with some teasers, and then here a section with call to action buttons. So a pretty typical landing page you can see here. So now if I go into edit mode, you can see a couple of things changing here. For once, we have the toolbar on top, and here we can see which of the sections is currently active. So I clicked into the hero block, or this is the feature section, and here we have the call to action section. So if I go back to the top and click on the hero block, we can see I can directly edit the text blocks in this hero block. So for example, we see here the headline data to enrich your online business, and we can change the first line, and we can also change the second line. And here we can also change the level of the headlines, the size. We can make it a big headline or a smaller headline. And of course, we can also change this text paragraph here, and also the call to action buttons we can see here. We can change the text, or we can also change the link where those go to. So when I scroll down, we can also see we have the possibility to add new components. So when I click here, a new component is added, and I can also change this like the other components. Okay, so this is all nice and pretty cool already, so it's very easy to edit stuff for the editors. But even more importantly, what sets us apart from other solutions is that it's also a great experience for developers. So let me say this, I built this simple landing page in about 30 minutes. So it was very, very quick, and I've done this without any components which are prefabricated by Windflow. So all of those components you can see here on this landing page are custom made for this landing page in 30 minutes. And how I was able to do this is because of two things. So first of all, we have a code editor built in directly into the system. So as you can see here, we see now the code of this hero block. So, and here you can see we have properties. We have properties for the call to action button 1. We have a property for the call to action button 2, and also for the heading and the paragraph, for example. And here we can specify that the heading has a label of heading. So if I go back to the form, you see here, this is the label we can specify in here in this schema. And in this heading, we have a couple of fields, the text1 field, the text2 field, text1 and text2, and we can see this here. So what developers can do is they can take the existing components or their existing UI components and just plug them in here in the template section and wire them up with a couple of fields. So their existing UI component is editable directly in here in Windflow. So how I did this to achieve this in 30 minutes is with the help of a very popular UI framework named TailwindUI. So TailwindUI, for example, has a couple of popular components like this hero section, what you can see on our landing page, but also other sections like pricing and so on. And there are a lot of other UI frameworks too. And the great thing about Windflow is that developers can easily use all the existing UI frameworks and just plug them into Windflow and they will work. This is different when you compare this to WordPress or other popular CMS systems. WordPress has plugins, but you need to use a WordPress plugin because uh, if you take, for example, this UI component, you have to create a WordPress plugin so that this works. In our case, we can just copy the code and put it into the template section of our component and wire it up with a couple of fields, and everything works and we can achieve great results in very minimal time. So for once, the editors will love this because it's very easy to edit stuff. They simply click in a component and just change the text, and they immediately see how this will look live on the page. And for developers, this is great because they can change the code as they like. They can use the tools they like. They can use Vue.js and don't use some framework that's provided by WordPress, for example. So this was it for the little demo.